YouTube! Woohoo! Whatever.
Baby.
I guess the ending of that beginning was kind of funny.
Beginning of the end.
Yeah, the beginning of the end. So, yeah, Matt is still on his water kick. But as you can see here, there is some bullet that is squared up and ready to go. And that will be on the agenda for this evening. I've had the rye before, and I think I've had this a long time ago. But
yeah, I remember you buying that before.
It's 45% alcohol volume by volume, 90 proof. So a little stiff, but
yeah, my drink's pretty stiff too.
yours is pretty weak. So, yep, not too bad for 30. Cheers. Is that a good look?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, this video is probably going to be relatively short. We really only have one clutch to go back over, unless you guys want to see stuff, and then 4 eggs to cut. So,
welcome, Trade Winds.
definitely not one of our bigger nights by any means, but
Interstellar, Skells, Mark, welcome.
yeah, what's going on? Little bullet. Definitely nothing crazy, but I think we're gonna start. We got a very little bit of mail. This is definitely not going to be a Billy mail opening.
Yeah, like a
scenario.
whole video's worth.
Yeah, but we did get some mail today, so we're going to open that. We'll give a little shout out to them, and then we'll switch around here. Matt is going to go through his
last clutch.
through that last clutch, and
welcome.
We'll kind of go from there.
G Reptiles from Denmark. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome from Denmark. So here's one of the stickers, and looks like we got some more stuff here. So this is Ty and Tina, Titan Exotics. These guys are on here almost every video. They're really starting to build their collection. They're also on Instagram. Definitely give them a follow on Instagram. You're going to want to keep track of these guys. I've kind of been eyeballing a little bit of what they've been doing, and definitely in their game for sure. Nice little holographic here.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, this one, because it's on the black and white, you kind of get more of all that reflective. It really gets you some
the color
wacky 3D looking. And then the nice flat stuff. I like having both, so you can really see the difference there. Nice job on the stickers, and thank you very much. I kept your address, so we'll be sending some stuff back your way as well. And pretty cool business card there.
Yes, Pack Pythons, we do sticker swap.
Yeah, I'm down to a few, so
Yeah, we
we
got to order some more
pretty soon. And once that order comes in, we'll definitely be able to do some swaps and things like that. I'm really kind of tight right now to only for purchases where stickers go with snake purchases. So if you definitely want one, definitely check us out on Morph Market. I'm just kidding. No pressure.
Welcome, Mom and Dad. Glad you guys can make it.
Woo. All right, I'm going to come around. We're going to take a look at that last clutch, which looks pretty crazy.
Welcome, Trina, Vic, Ball Pythons 9. Bunch of you guys on. Sweet.
Pack Pythons, what's going on? Mike M, welcome. Skells, welcome. Yeah, Ball Pythons 9, welcome. I probably missed somebody because we're switching cameras here. Vic, what's going on, buddy? Welcome. Trina, welcome. Thanks for all the support on Instagram, guys. Really, and even on the giveaway channel. I'm going to announce right now, because we're about 3 hours past the first 24-hour period. So unfortunately, I did not hear from the primary winners for that video, and I didn't write it down, so I'm going to have to go back and look and see who the backup was. And I have not heard from the backup either, so I will start the backup's time as of now. Well, actually, we'll start it as of 5 o'clock, because that's when the video posted. That's right. Appropriate. So we're going to run another 24. If I don't hear from the backup number 2, and we talked about this, I had this problem before on another giveaway I did.
Yeah.
We're going to do another raffle and or cycle the thing through the the commenter, and then we'll go from there and see what we can't give away these animals.
Yeah, and
Yeah, Joe, I don't understand it. Like, this happened in another video too, where a giveaway video where we did this, and hold on, excuse me. My wife is messing up my live stream.
hey, babe, welcome. Hey, Caleb, because I know you're over there too.
Thanks for dialing in, hon. So we shut the windows, so my wife and my daughter are out on the outside patio, and I got a TV out there, so they're watching it outside. And it's getting a little feedback and extra sounds here. So again, 5 o'clock tomorrow. If I don't hear from runner-up number 2, I got to figure out either another way of doing it. William, I think the raffle will be something separate. I don't want to, because I shot the video so long ago and I set the precedence for how that giveaway was going to go. I don't want to change it on everybody, where it costs you to get into it, at least for that giveaway. Yeah. Going forward, we may do things a little different and maybe try a raffle, figure out how that's going to work for us. But we'll see. I'm more than likely on this one, just because it was set up previously. I'll bring up the comment selector, and we'll run another 2 and put those names out there and see who gets it.
And hopefully somebody will get back to us, because we would love to give these snakes away.
Yeah, we got about 3 or 4 people in here raising their hand to accept this winner. All right, so we're going to get to this clutch.
So the pairing was a mahogany albino to a pastel lesser yellow belly. We had 6 snakes. We hit pretty good odds between the lesser and the mahogany stuff, and we hit the golden child right here.
Dave says we could just give him to him. He'll pay for shipping. It is kind of funny.
Does that work with racks too? You can just give them to us, won't pay for shipping?
Exactly. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid. I like that. Right back at you, baby. All right. Here we go.
The golden child. A normal.
Oh, the hardest to hit out of the whole clutch.
So we hit a normal here. So this is het albino. This is...
Now, again, these guys are just out of the egg.
No shed yet.
By a couple days.
And that one's a girl.
Then none of them have shed yet, so they're still really shiny and sticky, as Justin said today on one of his posts.
Yeah, so they'll brighten up a little bit once they go through their first shed.
Yeah, this one is really dark and kind of chocolatey like. So at first we thought maybe this was going to be just a mahogany, but after further research, it is a really dark normal.
All right, and then we're going to move on to you.
Yeah, they're all over there. Dan says that joke didn't come up short. Surprising for Matt.
You're funny, Dan.
He's real funny, because that would have been something I would have said.
Short jokes. Jeez. Never get old.
Yeah, you're too short to get away from them. Sorry.
All right. That was good. All right. This is... She would sit... He would sit still. This is actually
this is the male?
Yeah, this is a boy. So this is a pastel yellow belly.
Yeah, this was the crazy one that had... What's going on, Shannon? Weird. That has a lot of these saddles. We look over the top, like the saddles are just kind of jumping across, that we saw when it was in the egg. Crazy bright, crazy contrast. So, pastel, yellow belly. Really nothing else in the pairing can kind of explain what's in here at all.
Right. But yeah, this thing glows, so I can only imagine what it's going to look like once it sheds.
Trina, it really depends on what they did, to be honest. If it had a retained egg, if they just went in with a needle and they deflated the egg, it's possible I would still pair that female. If they actually had to do surgery on that girl to remove the egg, then that's something I would consult the vet with to see, what they really had to get into, internally, whether those no surgery. Yeah, if they just aspirated the egg, more than likely she'll be fine. She could have been a little small,
Yeah.
or just not quite developmentally ready. But yeah, with just deflating or aspirating an egg, I would definitely pair that girl again. Surgery, that's totally up to a vet.
Thank you, Sunday Falcons. He was complimenting us on our live egg cuttings.
Oh, thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. I don't know that anybody else does this. I know.
A lot of pre-recorded type stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of like uncut pre-recorded, which when it's recorded, you can choose to post it or not or whatever. But I know there was a lot of talk on Reptiles Unplugged about Joel doing a live egg cutting on a double het clutch. So it'll be pretty interesting to see what whether he decides to actually do that going forward or not. It was right at the bottom. No, she's 7 years old and was very large, 8 eggs. Yeah, it sometimes
They have issues.
Yeah. I've got no explanation. But if they aspirated the egg and all the other eggs had come out previous to that, it could have just been a massive egg that wouldn't have passed normally, so an abnormally large egg, and she may never ever see that again in her entire life. So
Yeah.
I would have no problem pairing a female again after being aspirated.
All right, so at first I was thinking pastel lesser, but looking at the belly, starting to kind of see a little bit of this checkering kind of going on down at the bottom here. I may think it might have yellow belly in it, possibly. So
You're welcome.
this is also another boy, I believe. Also, like everything in this clutch is going to be 100% het albino. Very clean.
Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, I like the nice dark on top. It's going to look really good.
And the color will definitely brighten up once it sheds.
Right.
And puts on a little bit more size. Most animals really don't have decent color come in, until a couple weeks after they shed. So we're really looking at about 3-4 weeks here before you get all that really good color saturation.
Right. And this one, I believe, just because of the nice blushing that's on the head, I believe this to be a pastel lesser mahogany. The cleanliness from the lesser, like all the alien heads are nice and clean, teardrop like. Maybe even yellow belly, I don't know. It's first year producing mahogany stuff in abundance and stuff. Like
First year, well,
because I produced one mahogany, but it was a black pastel.
yeah, but it's albino, so it's
Right.
not even regular, what I would
Right.
call regular mahogany, where you get a good feel for it.
Right.
It's really masked by the albino.
Yeah.
So this is really the first clutch where we've getting a clean look at what mahogany itself, by itself, does with other genes.
Right.
And so far, not disappointed.
No, not at all. And I believe this was another boy.
Really appreciate that, Sunday. I really do. We're trying
Boy.
over here. We really only pair stuff based on what we want to see out of those genetics. I don't breed clutches to sell at shows to make money.
That's what we want to see.
I do breed stuff to sell, but I don't have sole clutches just to make money. There's typically something I'm looking to hit, whether it may be boy or girl, out of those clutches. So usually every pairing has some way or another to propel our little project here forward. I really appreciate that comment, and we really do breed for ourselves first.
And so this one I do believe is a pastel lesser mahogany. I don't think there's any yellow belly in this one because you look at the belly.
Yep,
Look how
definitely.
clear that is. There's nothing along the belly, no
Yeah.
checkering of any sort.
Yeah, and they're floated up really good, really tight alien heads. This animal looks really nice.
Yeah, so going back to that other one, that other
Look
one's
at that
definitely
tail.
got the yellow belly in
That
it.
tail is cool.
Yeah. And I like how it gets this cool stripe and then it's like dot 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 stripe. It's almost like it almost reminds you of kind of like SOS signals.
Yeah.
Very kind of long dash.
Thanks,
or
Ball
short dots.
Pythons 9.
But yeah,
He completely agreed with the ID so far.
awesome. Thank you. Yeah, can't wait to see these things shed actually a couple of times, because seeing some of the pictures of the lesser mahogany yellow belly stuff and pastel lesser
That's a
mahoganies, they look
funky little color pattern right behind that eye stripe.
Yeah, let's see if I can turn the head a little bit.
I'm like right in on it, so there you
There we
go.
go.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good look. That's
Yeah,
kind of
pretty cool.
That's kind of cool right there.
Yeah. All right, and then
Yeah, Sunday, I agree with that. I definitely love my reptiles, but I want certain stuff out of my pairings, but I also want the clutches that I produce to pay for what I'm doing, because it'd be
Right.
nice to not have to pull anything out of my personal pocket to do this. If I can get, the animals that I'm breeding for, and then the residual to pay for rodents and bedding and maybe the electric that runs all the racks and stuff. I mean, that's kind of a beautiful scenario. And then even paying for the snakes going forward, and I don't have to come up with personal money to do it. That's fantastic. But it does take some personal investment to get there. You're not gonna typically get there without some kind of how you say personal sacrifice.
Right. Now looking at these two, and then looking back at that one that we believe is pastel lesser yellow belly mahogany, I think these three don't have
Those three?
These three. I'm not even drinking.
He's drinking water even.
And I think these two may just be pastel mahogany yellow bellies, because you really don't get any of that brownish color in from the lesser, but you get crazy yellow belly checkering down here at the base. You get that really dark from the mahogany, and then the pastel just brings up all this color up in between.
What's going on, Mason? Welcome.
Both of these are the same. So this one's got the same checkering down at the bottom. Nice pastel coloring coming up through the top, and the dark from the mahogany. So I think these two here are the one short of everything, and I believe this is the one that's got possibly got it all.
So what do you think? What do you think those are missing that this one has?
I think these don't have the lesser. I think this has the lesser, because you get really more of that brownish kind of yellow kind of coming up in here. You get more of that clean look from like the lesser.
I almost disagree with you. I think this one doesn't have the yellow belly. I think these have all four.
Or do you think this one doesn't have? Oh no.
You getting this extra busy pattern, this tightened alien heads. The yellow belly is just adding some wackiness there. And if you look at the bellies on these guys compared to this one over here, there's quite a considerable difference. I mean, like if he opens that up, let's take a look at that belly. It's, it's jagged all along here, like in between, at the bottom of every alien head. It starts to string together in places. That's definitely yellow belly. So if we look at this one, again, before he rolls it over, flip it back. So not as busy pattern, not as tight. The dorsal's not as crazy. Again, yellow belly adds a lot of wackiness outside of that. So we get a couple things here, but nothing super screaming for yellow belly. So I think this is a pastel lesser mahogany, and I think these two also have the yellow belly, which you get that added wackiness. So
and then you look at these eye stripes on these two. Look how thin.
Yeah, another really cool, head pattern there. Big black stripes, nice thin yellows.
And I like how this almost hooks up and
tees
almost
up. Yeah.
closes.
That's kind of cool.
Oh, this one actually closes up over on this side.
Oh yeah, comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are a couple cool animals. I mean, and are they both boys?
Those are both boys. Yep.
You-
So
you're gonna-
one is gonna stay, one's gonna go.
Woo! Thanks, Mason. Thanks, Ball Pythons 9. Yeah, I agree. Those were kind of cool.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't follow MJ, so MJ Cartel does a video podcast on YouTube called The Snake Trap, or Trap Talks. And he had Wilma Rose and Ozzy Boyd's on last night. What a fantastic podcast. So, there's all kind of like business model type stuff whether you're doing it as a hobby, goals, whether and doing it as a business doesn't necessarily mean it's the sole business. If it makes any money for you, it's considered a business. And Ozzy really goes into some really cool stuff with that. And one of the questions that was asked to him is, what did he feel was like an untapped gene, or a gene that's really kind of been sitting in the background. And the thing he says was cinder, mahogany, and something else. And I can't remember what the other one was. But again, MJ Cartel does the snake trap ball python talk sessions. So definitely check him out on YouTube. I can find the link. I'll put it in the description down below once we're done with this live stream. So you can click on there and then go follow him. I like the way he does his live streams. He really, really researches the individual. Wow. Yeah, I talk like you and you're drinking water. The individual that he's interviewing, and with that, he has intelligent questions that are based on, a bit of research, and he'll pull up pictures and stuff that they've done so that it's a relative and intellectual, intelligent conversation, if you will. Some questions may be kind of similar across some of them, but there's enough research done where it's kind of dialed into the people that he's talking to. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and it goes in depth. Very in depth.
Yeah, Mason. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely
Aussie stuff in general.
Every year has always been mind blowing. He's always in the top 1, 2, 3% of anything that's going on. This year, it's not a handful of animals. It's clutch after clutch after clutch of like just ridiculous stuff that he's doing, which is exciting. Which just means like the pathway to what you're going to do, what I'm going to do is all going to kind of be the same.
I almost fell to the floor when I saw his Super OD Yellow Belly puzzle. I
agree with you, Dan. Yeah.
I'm just so far on where I want to be with that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
100% Lou balls. Yeah, for sure. So
get that out of the way.
We're going to get some stuff ready here, and we're going to cut some eggs, and I think we're probably going to be done inside of like 30, 40 minutes, which is like, it'll be another record for us. I think we were like, well, that's true, but like our longest record was like, what, 2 hours and 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, that evening was like, that was bonkers.
That's almost like snake trap.
He did
it was
a
like
3 hour one time.
Woo, yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that's just...
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Did talk a few hours ago about business plan. It made sense. That's when we decided to make a go of it. Yeah, his business perspective, like he was working full time. He was doing consulting, and then back in 2016, he decided to quit his 9-to-5 job, go right into doing just the snakes. And
no, he's never been doing just the snakes. He still does consulting. He has.
He does it on the side. Yeah.
He does all kinds of other stuff. So he's never 100% vested in only snake money or reliant on only snake money.
Right.
And what he talks about is that, like, the snakes have always been a side hustle.
Yeah.
But the quality that he has allowed him to have, freedom to say, like, F you, I don't want to work for you no more, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm done,
something's going on with the family, I got to move. Like, F you, I'm out. And just walk away. And the snake business has always provided enough of an income where he was never really concerned with things like that.
Yeah. If you go back and watch that video that we're talking about, he talks about, like, real estate, consulting, Yeah,
it's really good. It brings... because a lot of people will talk about, you spend $5,000 on a snake, and you put it to a $4,000 female so that you can make crazy, stuff. But if you haven't done your legwork beforehand, I got it right here for you. The light comes off here. If you haven't done your legwork beforehand in marketing and stuff, and people don't have, some kind of an awareness of who you are, you could sit on $10,000 snakes all day long, and like Justin's and Ozzy's, and those people aren't going to come buying from you because they don't know. They don't know. They've never heard of you. They'll wait. They'll wait, and you'll sit and you'll sit and you'll sit. So again, it's not just that kind of stuff. It's keeping it as a side hustle, which Ozzy has always done, and being able to really leverage that money, that extra income for early retirement. For buying real estate, for having another income stream so that you're not completely reliant on your job if Corona happens and you lose your job, you've got something else to fall on. So
Right.
again, it just really kind of expands your thought process on, you know, the whole, like, why I do this. Yes, I love animals. I love playing mad scientist and being a geneticist, you know, but there's always the other thing of getting it to pay for itself. And then the next level of having enough money there where it could, in certain circumstances, you know, buy a car or pay for, you know, help pay for a house or, you know, different stuff like that. So,
Right.
anyway, so tonight we're going to cut some eggs. We've got 4 eggs. We're going to number them like we always do. We got, you know, some slits here. And this pairing, as you guys saw in the header to this video, is a Super Pastel Yellow Belly Het Clown produced from Ectothermic Dungeon to a Pastel Clown male from Eyeball, back when they were still doing stuff. So not too crazy of stuff, but everything will at least be pastel and 100% Het for Clown. We have killer clown, well, pastel clowns, killer clowns, killer yellow belly clowns, pastel yellow belly clowns. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. So let's.
And to answer your question, Dave, their Pos Het goes Pos Het Cryptic, and my breeding season is actually done for the year. So my puzzle stuff isn't going to go until next year. Unfortunately, I was really hoping to hit some this year.
Yeah, that's all right. But that puts a bunch of different stuff in the mix for us. So
Yep.
yeah, crazy. So we've got 4 eggs, 1 through 4. Matt's gonna scribble some stuff down here. You guys can start putting in your request, if you will, for what you're calling.
So
that we're gonna cut and open first.
1, 2, 3, and 4. So that way you guys can see which ones are which. Ballers is going 2. 1, 2, 3. Number 2.
And then I want to do something a little bit different because we only got 4 eggs, so it won't really be too hard to do. But we'll get the numbers tallied for which egg we're going to cut into first, and then we'll kind of go from there.
So you choose that number first. 3. Balls of Paradise, 3, 4, 2, 1. All right, so 3 is your first choice.
Yeah, right. That's what you get.
Winner of giveaway claim price. No, Leon, the winner did not claim. So second runner up is up for the next 24 hours.
If that does not happen, then we will, for this video, redraw 2 new names and see who may come away with it. Again, part of the criteria for this giveaway was to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. So we shot this video and we posted it separately. We did not go back and comment in the old video. We did not do any of that. So that eliminates the people that didn't follow all the instructions. So, all right, I think that's about all our tallies for that. Now we also have 1 through 4. I just want another quick tally, and maybe Matt will go kind of come out the other way on this here of how many visuals in this clutch we're going to hit. If we're going to hit 1, 2, 3, or 4 visuals. Again, Super Pastel Yellow Belly Het Clown to a Pastel Clown. So we should be theoretically about half. But we all know my history with clowns, so we'll see what happens there.
Really, ballers? There's only 4 eggs, dude.
All right, so he gets no vote. I'm not doing math tonight. I've been drinking too much, if you can't tell already.
He's all 5. Oh, he's going for twins.
All right, I'll take it.
All right, so 5. Boop.
Twin visuals.
2 visual.
I'll give dude. If you hit that, I'll give you a T-shirt.
Going with the odds. He forgot how to count. Well, anyone ever cut 2 eggs at once? No.
Billy's got scissors big enough too, so you can see my scissors are definitely not big enough to do that, but they are surgical steel. You'd have to go talk to Billy at Mutation to Creation and have him use those 2-foot scissors and see if he can do 2 eggs at once. That's beyond my game. All right. So 3 seems to be the notorious winner here.
Welcome, New York Powerballs.
What's going on? So it looks like we have 3 on both sides here. So 3, we got 8 votes for first to be cut, and also got the most 9 votes, whatever. Also got 4 votes for how many.
We got 2 more 2 4s.
All right, we still 3 is going to win for how many visuals we have. So we're going to get into egg number 3, and this one was a pipper. I already saw this one, so I know what this is. But we'll go ahead and cut this for you guys. And that is it. Yeah, that's a Super Pastel Yellow Belly Clown. There's some really busyness there. Yeah, that looks fantastic.
That looks great.
And as far as egg development goes, there are no veins left in here at all. So these guys,
will be out of the egg tomorrow.
Which is why they're pipping.
Yeah.
So Super Pastel Yellow Belly Clown. Fantastic hit for us. I'm super excited. If it's a girl, it's even better than the Super Pastel Yellow Belly Het Clown gets replaced. Woo!
Whoop, whoop.
I like it. So where are we at? Number 2, egg number 2 was the second one here.
This we did not pip.
We did not pip. We did not pip the other ones either.
It did not pip.
Yep, they like to pip themselves. So this one here
is gonna be a het.
Pastel.
Or pas het.
That's a pastel. Really nice pastel.
Actually, sorry, that is a 100% het. My bad.
Yep.
Because there was a pastel clown that
Pastel Het Clown. I've made quite a handful of those in the past.
Woo!
So no votes for number 1. Number 4 is the next one up on the agenda here. And this one has
also
pipped.
So we kind of cheated and know what that one is too.
Yeah, this one had its head out as well. And this is at least a killer clown.
Yep, that one doesn't. Definitely
Not
one
as
is
busy.
cleaner.
Yeah, the other one's got more color
and is really clean
and not quite as busy.
Woo!
So we're right in the number 2 section here. So we've definitely hit our 2. Down to the last egg here. 1 egg left. Another visual would be fantastic.
I can't do it.
And then we'd be somewhere around right where the sweet spot is for everybody's.
Yeah. By the way, this is the small Sistema tub that we've been talking about, the little 3-liter.
Yep. It holds like 4 to 5 eggs, maybe 6 eggs, really easily. And as you can see, these guys pipped right on the button. Actually, they came out a day early. This clutch is day 54, so technically tomorrow would have been appropriate. But they incubated really, really good in this 3-liter. I got no complaints. Yeah. And here we go, down to the last egg.
And it is a
Super Pastel Het Clown.
So he hit
there may be yellow belly in there. It's
hard to tell.
It's
can't see the belly.
Yeah, it's really blushed and really busy. So I'm gonna guess there's yellow belly in that. We'll see a little bit more when it
a little bit more veins in that one, so that one might take a little longer to get out. But he hit the odds, 50% of the clutch.
Right on the button. And I like me that one.
Yeah. Girls.
Yeah, right. I got my toes, my fingers, my eyes,
legs,
arms, almost everything crossed.
His eyes.
Yeah.
They're always that way.
Yeah. My eyes are always crossed. My fingers are always crossed.
These clowns came out really, really good.
Yeah, I like them. Again, nothing like stupid, crazy, fancy. That's coming. This coming season, I've got a lot of red stripe, a lot of Zuwadi Fire, and some Blade Lavender Clown stuff going on. So my clown game this coming season should still be pretty good. There'll be a lot in the mix for sure. And now that I'm working a lot with my own hats that I've built, I'm hitting visuals. Imagine that. So I'm pretty confident that this other girl has, no chance of Clown in the background. And we're still going to send her off to somebody for a little bit of time and see if we can mix some cool stuff in there. And worst case scenario, we make some badass sets.
Yeah.
But right now she's this year I pulled her clutch yesterday.
Yeah.
And so she is so the original Heartache Girl is a pastel lesser yellow belly, was sold as Het Clown, had 3 clutches, 18 eggs,
and
to
no
a
visuals.
Pastel Clown, and never produced a visual. And this year I bred her to a blackhead red gene. So there ought to be some pretty neat stuff coming out of there. If you haven't seen the lesser blackhead stuff, oh dude, makes your heart melt. So with a little bit of yellow belly, ooh doggy, I'm ready for it. So,
yeah, for sure.
That's 2 months away.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clutches left in the incubator. We got 3 more that are going to drop, and that's going to be the end of our season. So we will be starting the new season actually next month because we got girls that start in August.
Finishes this at what, 33 clutches for the year?
That would put us at 32 clutches. Because right now,
I pulled 29 today.
Yeah, 29, and then I got 3 more, so 30, 31, 32. Yep, so 32.
32.
Yep.
And if maybe we get a surprise, who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah, maybe.
I like the color in there, really.
Yeah, so our season's definitely winding down. Definitely got some cool stuff coming down the road. Some more cool hatchlings. Some of your other clown stuff.
Well, yeah, I have these other 2, right? So
yeah, you can kind of look at them compared to what's in the egg.
To each other and to what's in there. So, straight killer. This one. So this is a Firefly Clown, really bright. This one is expected to be a Superfly Clown, and then these would be the other 2 that's come out here.
Well, the Super Pastel.
And I think this is a Super Pastel yellow belly, and again the gray on here is definitely different than what was over here for sure. This is the holdback. This guy will be for sale. They've been eating, man, and the color is really starting to come in on this guy. He just really looks good. For a simple combo, I'm amped. I'm really amped with this dude.
Somebody asked a question. I got to bring it back up. Oh, it was about ultrasounding. Do we ultrasound all year long? Well, we've been kind of changing stuff up. We're kind of trying a new strategy this upcoming season. We talked with Justin and Will on how they do their pairings. So we'll be ultrasounding probably more.
Definitely more. Typically, we would ultrasound from like December, January through like April. Most times, and then just kind of knock off. But we also started breeding year-round last season, and one of the things that Justin says about girls is they're very cyclic. So once they lay, usually they kind of lay at the same time every year, give or take, 30 days. So with that, when they lay eggs, you count backwards 7 months or forward 5 months, and that's really where you should be throwing your first lock in. So we have girls currently that are January through December, and then I have an equal amount of girls that haven't laid for me yet, so I don't know where they're at. So we're trying to ultrasound every couple weeks, where previously we've only used it as a marker as far as how far along they were. We never truly use it as a breeding strategy. I try to limit my males to, 4 girls, 5 girls at the max. Yeah. And I've had, and I just bred them monthly and, kind of spaced them out during the week, whatever. And I've had really good luck. Low dud count, low boob egg count, almost no infertils. So it works that way if you have that one male that you got to put to 4 or 5 girls. The tri-stripe male, he's going to be a busy boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to double the female count with him. So now I need to rely on the ultrasound as a breeding strategy for him, because I can't go 12 months and be breeding for 7, having him going to 10 girls, and trying to get a lock
like almost every
month
week
for 7 months. I mean, 7 locks a female time. I'm like 70 locks, like he'd be dead. Like
yeah.
it's just not possible. So with a breeding strategy, you pair the male, hopefully a chump. So if you use a chump for your first pairing to spur the female on, then your big dog or your primary male is only going to be breeding, getting 2 other locks in. So with 10 girls, now we're talking 20 locks that are spread out across the year as opposed to 70. It's a huge difference. It's monumental.
Right.
So, so my tri-stripe I'm going to be heavily invested in tri-stripe this coming season. Hopefully, this breeding technique using, the ultrasound and locks at certain points helps, and I can still get out of all these girls what I want to. So we'll see. So definitely off into new territory for sure. But man, holy cow! I haven't taken him out in like a week or so, and like the color
is amplified.
Is so crazy with him.
Yeah, they look really good. Can't wait for these guys to get out of the egg.
No, I know.
That's the only bad thing about when you do this, then it's all right. Time to get out of the egg. Hurry up.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the unfortunate part is like everything here is loaded with pastel.
Right.
And I've been saying that too. I'm like crazy pastel heavy.
Yeah.
Because of
all those years of breeding the pastel
lesser yellow belly to a pastel clown, and the stuff I kept were all like either super pastels or pastel hets or whatever. So, yeah.
So what Jim means by chump, so like if you're doing a recessive, you're gonna want something that has a similar recessive or the same recessive, both 100%, one a visual, or both visuals. The chump male is kind of the male that you just want to get the breeding started, but you don't want to use him to produce anything. But if he does produce
before you even get that far,
yep.
If you never pair a female, more than likely you may see 4 millimeter, 6 millimeter, or 8 millimeter follicles, and then they're going to go away. So if you don't pair a female, she's never going to get up to 15, 20, 30. It's never going to happen. She's not going to waste the life energy into developing follicles that big if there's no dude around.
Right.
So in the beginning, what they say and what proves true about 85% of the time is you put in a male. So I'll give you an example. So when I went down to Justin's place, the first day that I was down there, we pulled a clutch of eggs, and it was a monarch female, and we had this conversation about like how he does stuff, and like he never ultrasounds before he breeds because females won't develop follicles enough. It's like pointless. So we were pulling a clutch, and it had seen 2 males. So this monarch female, laying her first egg, clutch, had seen 2 males. The chump was like a black pastel spot nose clown. So that black pastel spot nose clown went in the very beginning of the breeding season and got a lock. He hadn't even ultrasound, but the lock was marked by that male. He ultrasounded a couple times. She was 15 millimeters. He put in the Pompeii. So the Pompeii, having the black pastel spot nose fire yellow belly clown, was the big dog. So what he was, and then again, I think whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Yep.
And then another lock at 30, and then she was laying eggs when I was there. So they had 3 locks. The first lock was the chump. but he kept the genetics the same, so that if the chump male or the one in the very beginning gets the clutch,
He's still going
he
to get
still
some
knows
good.
everything is 100% double het monarch clown. It's just
Right.
not going to have as many genes. And the thing with that is it allows your heavy hitters to go further. So if he had 10 girls he was putting that Pompeii to, and he had to put 3 locks on each female, 30 as opposed to 20, it may give him another female that he could pair that animal to, so to speak. So he probably wouldn't do 30 locks with a male. He would still do 20. So that means he'd probably get 8 girls instead of 10. So when you spend massive money, $7,500, $10,000 on a male, obviously it's for a reason, and you want to run it to as many girls as you can because you're infatuated with those genes. You want to push it. You want to see some return. You want to pay for your hobby. And the only way to do that is to strategically use ultrasound to get those locks at the right times.
Right.
So I've been talking to Will Moreau's a fair bit about how that was done, how it's documented, that whole 9 yards, and we're at least attempting that this season with the tri-stripe, because he's got 10 girls set up in front of him, of course, throughout the year, not all at once. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully it'll prove true. But we did ultrasound 2 or 3 weeks ago, and then again yesterday.
Yep.
And it seems like a lot of girls are kind of reabsorbing. But I do have open windows here. I don't run an AC, so whatever the temp is outside, I'm usually about 4 degrees cooler in here with all the fans going. But with that said, we did have like a bit of a heat wave. It was 95, 96. Ended up being like 89, 90 and a half in the room. So there really is no cool side, and that could have triggered some of this reabsorption. I don't know. My dilemma is, running an AC unit and having, 20% humidity, which is, something else that is near impossible to deal with. So,
right.
Run a humidifier in an AC unit, I'm going to be pulling out all the humidity I'm putting in, and it just gets crazy. So we've gone with the open window method and just a lot of ventilation. It worked really well last year, but it was a change for the girls. So we'll see what happens as a result this year.
Vic had another question.
Yeah,
As a new breeder with all virgins, is it recommended that I get proven males, females?
Honestly, I don't know.
Ball Python 9 actually had a good response to that. He says, I don't think so. My opinion, the best breeders are the ones you raised yourself.
And that's 100% accurate. That's where I was going. So there's a handful of guys that, what are we, 8 years into ball pythons between buying and breeding. There's only a handful of guys that I 100% trust that their hets are what they say they are. So if you're, breeding for recessives and buying recessives, obviously the best is what you can produce. However, that said, if you're just starting and your first male that you're going to buy is not a visual, but you're looking to make recessive visuals, there's some trust factor. And, I've gone to big names. I've bought big names and had them not prove out on my clown side, and so far on my tri-stripe side. So, I was surprised too. Like I bought a 66% het from Justin, and like she proved out, and I've made multiple pieds from her, and she's a great breeder. But the reliant stuff, the stuff that you can trust, is the stuff you produce, because without a shadow of a doubt, what went into that animal. And if you're missing odds, if you're not hitting your visuals, you're just missing odds. Like that that female saw a clown, and all those siblings that you grew up 2 years ago and that are producing eggs right now are definitely 100% het clown. So if you're not hitting it, you're just not hitting it. And there's some peace, some reassurance with that. I have little faith in most breeders nowadays, unless I've bought stuff from them and it's proven out. I have little faith in anybody I buy stuff from. just because, human error can make mistakes. You
Yeah.
put something back in the wrong bin because, you were bathing two animals and they're similar, and one's het ghost and the other one's het desert ghost, and, um,
Yeah.
I get the wrong one, you're just kind of screwed, and you'll never know what that genetic is. And in the example with this pastel lesser yellow belly female, I'll pull her out, I'll show her to you. She's not a normal pastel lesser yellow belly. Like, there's a het involved. It ain't clown, but there's a het involved, and you can see it in her. I mean, she just looks good.
Yes, Chris, you did miss the cutting. This is what we hit. Booyah. 2 clowns with a bunch of genes in them.
Well, super pastel yellow belly stuff.
Yep. And then we had a pastel yellow belly, you said?
Yeah, I think that's a pastel. It could be yellow belly, but it don't really look it. And then super pastel, that's probably yellow belly.
Yep.
So this is the girl that I missed on the clown game for 3 years, and pastel lesser yellow belly. I mean, she just looks crazy. I mean, she's super amped in color. She looks really good. I just don't know what the head is.
You were gonna try.
The breeder swears, based on her head pattern, that she's definitely het for clown, but seeing a visual for 3 years in a row, 18 eggs, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Right.
I mean, there's bad odds, but that would be the worst odds ever on the planet Earth. But yeah, some crazy looking eyes for sure.
Oh yeah. Get this in close. Yeah, looks good.
Yeah, she's pretty. So without producing your own, it's tough. So I would throw. I'll give you three recommendations to buy hets from: Justin, Ozzy, Wilmer Rose. And I'm sure there's plenty of other guys that produce quality, reliable stuff, but I've not bought stuff from enough of them to, put my confidence stamp on it. But those 3 guys, and I will say I haven't bought anything from Will yet, but he is extremely forthcoming with information and, easy to talk to. So, and I see what he produces too. There's no, if you're looking on Morph Market from a breeder and you can't find them on Instagram, you can't find them on YouTube or Facebook, I don't know. Unless you're buying a visual and you can see everything that you're buying in there, to me, I'm gonna look at like a sales history and how was their customer service, and how was the quality that other buyers have indicated from that person before I go with them. And the more specialize the gene, well, the less data you're going to have, and you're just going to have to, do the best you can. But
yeah,
I don't know.
One person I had luck with, which is where I got the het puzzle from, was from Elite Balls. He's also part of Breeders Circle. He works with those guys over there. They say Tall Grass Reptiles keeps good records. Scal said picked up a proven black pastel female last year, and it turned out after her last clutch hatched, after she was sold, that she was also het pied. So stoked for her to drop her clutch in 2 weeks.
Yeah, surprising bonuses are great. Finding that pot set that proves out, or magically finding a new gene is fantastic. There are sucky parts of the hobby. I mean, I've bought animals that were supposed to be girls. Totally trustworthy based on the name of the breeder. And again, some of this goes back to like the early days where I really couldn't pop really good. It wasn't reliant. And, they would come in, I would try. I couldn't really tell if it was one way or the other. And then the animal just doesn't grow. It's not getting big. I mean, it's 3 years old. How come she's not locking? Well, because she's now a he.
Right.
Like, it just happened. So, that gene is now, on the flip side of the gender, and we've got to figure out a way to, work that into, different projects. So, I've never gone back to those breeders because, that was my lack of ability to be able to, pop a snake when it came in to know right off the bat that they had made a mistake.
Yeah.
So
Trina says Emilio Valerino is a super breeder with great records and that she supports. He makes a lot of hits.
excellent.
Thank you, Chris. We appreciate that. He recommends us.
That makes me feel good. And we're trying hard too. Like
Yeah.
we've put a fair bit of time into developing snake identification numbers. So every hatchling right now gets a unique identification number, and it gets loaded into Morph Market when it goes out, so that we can track the clutch and which animal it is. I've got to do a better job of writing that number down in my sales log. So I do keep track of all my sales and who I sell what to. It doesn't always have the number in it, so sometimes that can make a challenge for POS sets. Things start popping out later down the road. I got to do a better job of keeping track of that so that I know exactly what's going on with every animal like 2 or 3 years from now.
Right.
Yeah, so. But that's part of the learning curve, is figuring out how you document stuff and how you keep track of it, and what level of records you have and all that stuff. And not only are you keeping track of your hatchlings, but like you have all your pairings and previous years of pairings. Like I may be pairing a Pastel Clown this year, and lo and behold, I start popping out pieds. It's like, what the is going on? I need to be able to go back to what I paired last year to this girl, and if it was more than one animal, I need to have records of that. So we keep Excel spreadsheets of the female. We have a female column, and then we have a column for primary male, secondary male, and then the secondary male is color coded. So if we get a lock from that, it has the date in it, and then that cell is color coded to match, so that I can go back and then we tab out for the years. So we can go back at any point in time and say, oh yeah, last year this girl saw this, pastel yellow belly leopard pied.
Right.
That's where the pieds are coming. So she retained sperm from this male, not that male. And it just helps you to easily explain stuff, later down the road. So as much documentation that you can think that you need, you probably amplify that by 20-30%, and that's probably where you should be.
Yeah, Chris, we did reptile scan in the very beginning.
Yeah, that's good for 25 animals and under.
Yeah, and we just found much for ourselves. Everybody's different, but for us, we found the Excel spreadsheet and our number system, our little labels that we made ourselves, just to be much easier for ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, I have a card on each animal. I literally I can slide it out and know in a second flat what's going on, instead of trying to scroll, find the animal, pull up the records. To me, paper, at least at this point, is just easier. I will say that the breeding records from Reptile Scan is awesome, because when you get locks, you just scan the female, scan the male, it logs the locks, and then as you get females or hatchlings, it'll automatically, you can have it automatically assign numbers, and you can post animals for sale. So the breeding component of Reptile Scan is kind of nice, but at $25 a month, for us, that one feature just wasn't enough to continue to use it. I mean, Matt can bring you right over there.
Oh yeah.
So we still got the QR codes on there from before.
Our old reptile scan labels. So let's see. New York Powerballs says, actually tomorrow we'll cut live stream and see if my red stripe head exanthic to an exanthic spider will prove. They're going to be doing it between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. 8 eggs should be enough to get one proved out. Is that 1:30, 2:30 Eastern, Central, Pacific? Where are you located? Because I wouldn't mind popping on there and seeing what you get. Scales says, I've been wanting to migrate from a reptile scan to Excel spreadsheet, just not quite sure where to start in making one. Not too fluent in Excel yet.
We use a very simple spreadsheet. We did column A. So we talked about with Justin indicating what
That makes sense.
when females lay, counting backwards or forwards when their cycle starts again. And that month number is column A for us. And we have that, 1 through 12. So I sort my spreadsheet by month on those females of when they need to be locked. Column B is the female name. C would be primary male. So the primary one you want to hit. B is your chump or alternate. And by alternate, I mean you can have a primary, but if he doesn't like her,
Yeah,
or he
right.
won't lock with her, you need an alternate that you're just gonna put together and get some locks out of, so that you don't miss that female. So
Right.
you're kind of looking at 1, 2,
Maybe.
maybe even a third male, depending on what happens. Your chump and your chump would be your chump. Again, if all three of those, if you're talking recessive, then all three of those. If we'll say clown for example, all three of those. If the primary is a visual clown, all three should be visual clowns. So without a shadow of a doubt that the entire clutch is het clown.
Right.
If one is visual and the others are hets, you will not be able to sell those animals as guaranteed 100%. If that pastel clown hit on say 2 pastel whatever clowns, those other animals could have been produced by a different male, and you just don't know if they're 100% without a shadow of a doubt. Which, again, there's a lot of assumptions that breeders make, that if they see that primary male, you get the visual instead of like a het, they'll say, well, then that male got the clutch. Well, that it could still be a dual sire,
right?
And those other animals could be 50%ers, and you could be selling animals that that's supposed to prove out that will never ever prove out because they just didn't carry the genetic over. So again, if you're going to use that chump method, everything should be the same. If it's het clown, or visual, then it just takes all the guesswork out of it. So.
Yeah, I guess it helps if I would have looked at Powerball's name, because it's NY Powerballs,
New York.
York.
Yeah, so it would have been East Coast.
Eastern time, yep.
Nice.
Chris, I'd like to see a short video on your spreadsheet. Think it would be cool to see the workings.
Yeah,
we can throw a little clip together.
Yeah, we can either throw a clip together, or maybe even the next live, we'll take a few minutes in the beginning, and we can pull it up and just kind of walk everybody through it.
Yeah.
We can kind of go back through that way as well.
And then we can even show you, so that one does all of our pairings, but, so that'll show locks and everything. But then also on so we kind of have like a backup to a backup to a backup for pairings. So we have our spreadsheet that has all of our locks, everything, but then our website has a list of all of our pairings
So
that we
have
do also.
our incubator page that has, a year-by-year historical, basically what our spreadsheet proves out to be. So if we miss something on the spreadsheet, it more than likely should still at least be on the website. And then going throughout the year for a quick look, we use whiteboards. So we write everything down on a whiteboard. It has all the monthly pairing numbers, and then the males, the primary, secondaries, and then we have a space for to kind of mark out the locks. And then like once a week I'll come up and I'll put all those locks into the spreadsheet. So hopefully the spreadsheet is as accurate as possible from year to year to year.
Right. Yeah, Dave, I'll be around Sunday. Yeah, so a lot of people were liking the idea of being able to get like a little quick view of that spreadsheet. So
yeah, definitely. Next cutting. Oh, is that mine? Oh, I think it is. I think that's the pie clutch.
I think that's because we're gonna do it the same day.
Yeah. So it's the next live stream. I'm kind of amped about. So
we just gotta figure out what day we're gonna do it.
Ivory het pied. Yeah, we'll figure out the day, and we'll put everything up like we usually do. But one of the clutches that we'll be cutting is an ivory het pied. So that was the initial
Mini maker.
Minnie's mom.
Yep.
So ivory het pied to a GHI leopard het pied.
He's got all the markers.
He was produced by us. He was a 66 by the pairing. He's not produced any visual pieds. But he was the only thing with hets going into other clutches, and there's ringers all over the place in those clutches. So between the ringers, the markers that he has, I'm 99% sure he's going to prove out. So I'm completely expecting GHI leopard yellow belly pies.
Woo!
In that clutch. and I think there were like 9 eggs. So was it 8 or 9 eggs in there?
You were 8 eggs.
8 eggs.
Yep.
So that's a rock solid chance at producing some killer pied combos. And if I can get a male out of that is like GHI yellow belly.
The one thing that's like totally skipped, evaded. Yeah, like totally. We haven't been able to hit any visual pied males.
Right. So if I can hit at least a GHI, well, it would minimally be yellow belly pied, but a GHI yellow belly pied male, and grow him up, and he would be going to see Minnie and her sisters, and just light that quad platform that we work with on fire with some GHI stuff in there. Holy cow,
for sure,
make
yeah.
some insane stuff. So
and
that's really exciting. And you have a clutch too, right?
Yeah, and that pairing. So we have a super reduced normal that we have that came from a jigsaw male, which he kind of popped this stuff out to 2 different females that we bred him to, and so that daughter is going back to dad to see if anything comes out of it.
Is genetic, or if it was just polymorphic. So
right.
If it is genetic, hopefully we can hit something that's super and get like something really blade-like or really, really, really reduced.
Yeah. And there's 6 eggs from that clutch, so we got some decent odds.
To hit that. Yeah, that'd be good.
Cool. Definitely not as exciting as the ivory to the GHI leopard, because that's gonna be killer crazy.
But
it's good for trying to prove stuff. Right.
If it's something, and we're able to prove it out as something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got another pairing or 2 to go, but then you're going to start naming your own gene, and that's exciting. That just kind of popped out of nowhere. So,
what day is that cutting? So they kind of split each other. One falls on a Thursday, one falls on a Saturday.
We'll probably try to cut on a Friday. I don't really want to cut, because mine is last. I don't really want to cut the pied clutch 2 days early if I can help it. And most of our clutches typically don't pip out early. This one is a little unique, and it could be because of the smaller container size. Usually we cut our stuff a day before or right on the button, and they're not ready to pip. Like most of these guys, this is the only one that really has any true veins to count for.
Yeah.
The other ones look like these 2 could be out of the eggs right now. We'll probably cut that on a Friday, and let one clutch wait a little bit, and the other one will just go a little early. So,
fingers crossed. Hope that you hit your odds on that pairing.
Yeah, maybe.
See ya, Trina. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in. Good to see you.
Phone going to catch. Thanks, William. He's heading out. His phone's dying.
All right, well, take care. Good to see you again. Thanks for all the communication on YouTube there, buddy. I appreciate it.
That is going to be next Friday.
So a week from today. It'll be fantastic. And what we'll do, we won't, these 4 will be probably out of the eggs, so we can take a look at them. It's not going to take long, and then we'll hop online and we'll show you that Excel spreadsheet. So let's plan to do all of that next Friday, so you guys can kind of see how we kind of track all our breeding pairings, kind of year in and year out.
And fingers crossed that the mahogany stuff will be shed.
Yeah, and if there's stuff shed out, maybe there's more to look at. And we'll have a whole night full of craziness. That'll be good. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you taking some time on Friday night. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you next Friday.
All right.
Peace, y'all.